Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So we have my February set up. I decided in February that I wanted to do tabs, which is something I have done in my bullet journal once before, but I didn't like how they turned out. I couldn't get the spacing right, like it just aggravated me. Every time I've done tabs in a monthly, I shortly end up switching journals. Um, I tried October of 22 and literally I got it set up, hated the way the tabs looked, and switched journals. So February, I decided I was going to conquer that. I was going to get it done, and thanks to Erin, I can't think of her channel name. I'll link it below. She said that she cuts her straight, then does um the vertical cut or the diagonal cuts. So she cuts each of her tabs out straight and then goes in and from the basically the most outer dot in, that's how she does the diagonal for hers. And that made so much sense. It made this so much easier. And I actually love the way they look. What I'm doing here is I'm taking some paper that I got from Michaels. They had it on sale back in November, and so it's just different patterns and taking and gluing them on the tabs instead of using washi tape. Because as I was looking for my color palette, I had no pink washi tape. I used to, and I have ran out somehow of all of it. So that has been added to the list, and I am doing a no buy, so that part won't be bought till 2026. But I went ahead and used this pink paper instead, and it worked perfectly. And it actually gave my tabs some stability that they were needing because my paper on this journal is not as thick as I would like for tabs. So it gave it a good durability too. The gray paper actually came from Dollar Tree. I got a pack of all this random paper from there when I knew I wanted to start adding paper into my journal, and that's where that came from. And then the black paper is actually a sketchbook that I got from the dollar store for like a couple bucks. And I bought it because it had all the black paper in it, and I've been wanting to add more black paper into my journal. And so I thought that would be the perfect purchase to have just a little extra black paper laying around to do. And I was fighting with myself of what I wanted to do on the two side two sides where you can see the tabs laying. I didn't want to use the gray. I didn't want to use one of the pink ones because I used all the ones I had, or so I thought until I started looking. Um, but by the time I got up to look to see what other pink ones I had already finished this, but so I decided to use the black, and I love the way it turned out. I love the contrast it gives to the pink and the gray. It makes it pop. I am absolutely in love. So now we're just doing my cover page for February. I decided not to do the hanging hearts throughout the entire setup. Instead, the theme is just really the color palette I chose. And I loved it here, but I had tried to do it on my monthly when I drew everything in and did not like the way it looked. I could not get it to look right, and I don't know why or what was going on, but I didn't. So I said, okay, then we're just gonna leave it. Like it was a one-time thing. That's fine. Here you can see that I was like doubting myself when I go to put that last dark, almost like a blood red heart in. I like pause for a second, like, did I count that right? I look at it again. Oh yeah, I counted it right. Because I started questioning, like, did I do this the right way? I did. Um, so yeah. But you'll see that all throughout the entire spreads, I used the pinks and the gray color palette. I am now setting up my habit my habits. I love the way this turned out too. I did my habit trackers on next to my cover page in January, and then I also added a picture from January that I have of my little one. We went out and played in the snow, and so I have a picture of her in the snow that I added as a tip in January. And I honestly love the way that turned out, so I decided to do it again. And this time I added gratitude because for February I'm focusing more on self love. And so I figured gratitude is a good way to get that in my mind right. Um, as I said, I'm just adding my habits in, and then we're moving on to my monthly. So I went in and lightly erased, or mostly erased, all the pencil before I started adding in this light pink, because I found when I was doing my test before I started filming that, excuse me, if I left the pink, like the pencil in there, the pink, it did not erase under the pink well, and it looked like it had a gray outline, and I did not like the way that looked. um the other thing is, here, as I started doing this, I did the F and realized I did not leave the space for the cursive to go in the middle of it. So I just decided to leave it like that and not use the gray this time, and just do it all in pink and then add the black lettering in there. Now I'm just taking my dot markers and doing the dates, which is real quick and easy. And then for this outline, I usually outline all my boxes in black, but since I had used gray only one spot on the spread, I wanted to use more of the gray highlighter, or Mildliner, is the brand. So I decided to use it to actually do my boxes. And once I erase all the pencil, I love the way that turned out. It gives it a softness. It's there, but it's also not there, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we're gonna do that. And then, as you see, there was a pack of fruit snacks. So I had to pause to open a pack of fruit snacks for my little one. At this time, I actually had her and my nephew. So if I had muted this recording, you could hear them yelling at one another, and like all the baby giggles and all of that. They were really enjoying themselves, but they woke up from their naps and wanted fruit snacks. So we got fruit snacks. Now, for my monthly to do and my monthly budget, for some reason, my camera just stopped recording. My phone was recording just fine, and I get in to do the second every second line highlights for my budget, and then all of a sudden it just stops recording. I have no clue why. So here in a minute, you're gonna watch me ink in the title for everything, and then it's immediately going to jump, and you'll see the pages already finished. And then on my self-care bingo and my playlist, my monthly playlist, it's literally already has the black lines in it, because I did all of that, and then the kids needed, I think Charlie needed a diaper change, and so I got up to go do that, to pause the recording so I could do that, and there was no recording going, and I was like, what is going on here? So yeah, that's why that jumps there. But my monthly budget, and to do, I noticed in January I was needing a monthly to do list. There's just random things I wanted to get done in the month, but not so much on a specific day. And so I was getting lost. It was getting lost in my dailies. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna make myself a monthly to do list. That way I can put it all in there. And then budget. Since I'm doing my no buy, I kind of fell off the wheel a little bit in January. We've had some family issues. My grandmother got pneumonia, and we thought that she was going to pass, and she didn't, and it just kind of went down a spiral. And so I had to eat out more than I wanted, and I've had to make some adjustments. And so February, I want to get back on track and make sure I'm meeting that goal again. So I added a budget so I could write everything down and what I'm spending. That way I realize what I'm doing. And then my self-care and my playlist are just two fun spreads that I am honestly loving having in my journal. I realized with February only having 28 days, I had an extra two spreads basically, that I could use. So I decided to use one of them to do the monthly to-do list and the budget. And so now I'm doing self-care and playlists. I love the way the one for January turned out. You'll see it shortly when I do a flip through at the end of the month. I love the way it turned out. I printed out little album covers, or a picture that was like from the video of the song, and taped them on top of the little where I wrote in the song, and it's so cute. Like little flip up, it's great. I'm in love. I love it. Um, so yeah, if you saw when I was doing the flip through and doing the tabs, I'm going to print out little little looks like a little MP3 player, and put them in there for February. Now I'm just adding a bunch of stickers that I had pulled out that are red and pink. I have a yearly sticker book that I got, and then Nightmare for Christmas from Happy Planner from 2 years ago. But here you have it. There is my bullet journal set up. I genuinely love the way this turned out. I am in love. I think it was wonderful, even though playlist the eye has the wrong color. I love this. I think that I can't wait to use it. This is going to be my first weekly spread. I've decided as I was counting stuff out. That's going to be my first weekly. Hopefully, you will get a video of that coming up. But yeah, there you have it. There's that. Now we're going to move on to me doing my daily grind because I need to get it set up as well. Okay, so for my daily grind, I had decided that I was going to use some of this paper. So, like I said, I stopped the recording for the other one because the kids needed me. And then Charlie went home. My little one laid down for a nap. And I decided for my daily grind, I wanted to go look and see what other paper I had from what I had bought from Michael's for my birthday. And I found this one that I just fell in love with and wanted to use. So I decided to use it and put it on the back of a blank dot grid that comes with this version of the daily grind. The only thing was my glue stick ran out. So I had to use a paintbrush and liquid glue, which honestly made it ripple. It does not bother me. I think it's going to flatten out beautifully as it stays closed, and I'm using it during the month, and it did not make writing on the paper any harder or anything. It's just I think a glue stick would have been best. I just didn't have one, so I did what I had to do. Yeah, so we are just setting this up for February. If you've never heard of Daily Grind, it is by Angie Belmar, and she used to draw this in her bullet journal and found that she was getting more done in a 4 month period than she ever did before, and so she made a planner out of it and a whole company. And I happened to be following her for years and decided I wanted to give the system a try. I love it. I like filling it in every day. If I could get more consistent, that'd be great. Right now, I'm lacking the consistency in it, so that's one of my habits in my bullet journal is to fill out my daily grind. But setting it up is very non-committal and very easy. All I'm going to do is add the dots in with my dot pens, add the dates, and then I'm going to color the top 10 goals where they go, and I'm just going to do every other one in the same pattern I've been doing with the pinks, gradually getting darker to that dark red. And I will fill this out a little closer to time for February because I don't want to fill it in too quickly until I see how my goals end in January. Then I will fill it in for February. But yeah, just very, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Nothing to really write home about. I just add the varying colors of pink and red, which honestly looks so good. And then I go ahead and I'm going to add a Nightmare for Christmas sticker of Sally on the back side of this and add holes to it. On this side, I'm just adding in I'm coloring in that box and writing the word February in there. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to use this list or this spread. It is one that is not in the newer version of the Daily Grind. I have explained this before that I ordered back during Black Friday and got the old version, the first version of Daily Grind she ever put out. They had it on sale for 50% off, so I went ahead and ordered a 4-month package of that because it was really, really cheap compared to the other one. So I have not realized or figured out how I want to use that list. I might use it for a grocery list for February. We shall see. My January one is actually still blank, and any pages I haven't used in January, I actually have at the very back where it says notes. I just put it in there because it works out really well in case I mess a day up or my little one got a hold of it at one point and colored it all over one whole sheet. And so it was nice to have it just to like pluck that in. Here you go. And then I also have an extra week back there that I missed, and I can use it when I go to order my next 4 months because honestly, it takes a little while for it to come in. As you saw there, I found a glue stick finally. it only had a little bit in it, but I was able to use it to stick down the paper that was coming up. And now I'm back at it with my stickers, just adding a few here and there that I think will match the color palette or what I'm going to use the page for. And then I'm going to add a Sally sticker at the very bottom, and I will be done for this. So there you have it. There are my spreads for February. What about you? What color palette are you using? What is your system you're using? And I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.